Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Great to have you here again, man. I just can't believe it. Today I'm out on the Hawkesbury River. I've had the boat out the water for a couple of months actually, just fixing a few things. I put some new carpets in, I did a lot of trailer work, I've done a lot of electronics and things just to get the boat to where I need it for the next season, 2024, of which I want to make absolutely the best season ever. Now, equipment has been upgraded. I've done a lot of work with my microphones and so on, and you can hear that buzzing in the background. That could be a factor today, and that's the cicadas, as we call them here in Australia, and they buzz all day. So hopefully I've got something that can dampen them up a little bit. I'm sure we'll get some good footage today as we move up. Now, I've been in Sydney for the last 10 years and I know the stretch of water. This is going to be the last time for a while I'm going up this particular part of the river, and the reason for that is I'm actually going to be moving to the Sunshine Coast up the east coast of Australia, and of course that is fishing paradise, and I think it's going to take the show completely to the next level. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I haven't done an Up the Creek show, and I thought, well, let's just do one today. Let's go up there, see if we can break it down. I have no idea what lures are going to work. It's slightly overcast, it's a little bit cooler today. Around 25 degrees is going to be the max, and the conditions are great because the tide's going to come in. It's actually just starting to change now. It's going to come in, stay there the whole day and go out, which gives me a great day to get out there and try to get some fish. So join me please, man. Let's go. And guys, if you like what you're seeing here, please subscribe, hit the like button, the bell, you name it. That would help things along, and I'll try to make the best shows ever for you guys. Let's go get some fish right now. Let's go. So here's something for you guys who are starting your own channel. So I don't use the most expensive cameras just yet. I'm finding these GoPros, these are Hero 3s. They're actually doing a good job for me at the minute. Very clear. The only problem is that they're very sensitive with sound, which is really great. So you can see how I've put the extra foam on the sides there. I've drilled holes into the waterproof casing, and that actually has helped many times. I've had splashovers and things like that, and that's actually saved the GoPro every single time. And there's just 2 holes on either side, and what that does is it gets the audio. So we're going to see, you can hear the cicadas in the background, man. They're ghastly things when you get into really tight areas. It's just a penetrating sound. But anyways, we're going to see if that works. And then I've hooked that up to a battery. Now this is important because I was getting a buzzing noise. I had the GoPros actually on the boat system. I've got a couple of USB ports. I put them in there, and they had that buzzing sound, and it was terrible. That and the cicadas together, absolutely the worst sound you've ever heard. Hence, you know, not many people watching my stuff because it doesn't sound very nice. So what I've done is I've put a unique battery to each of these. These are solar panel batteries as well, and what that does is it just keeps that going all day. And I run these things all day. They last all day. They keep this nicely charged up, and that's very important. So this is just the stern light, and that's going on the back. It's a long range camera. If I do some fly fishing today, for example, it's nice to see from the different perspective out there. So that's just something that you can do if you want to, you know, get your own little gig going and set it up. And I have many of these setups around the boat, so all running off their own batteries now, which is helping things. Well, I hate having to do this to a great shirt, but I've just put a little insertion in there, as you can see, and that brings my chest cam through just like this. And fortunately I use this just for fishing, so I'm not going to go out on the city with this shirt on. So it works pretty well. And then of course you can just put your chest cam on there. That'll just fit onto that. And using a bit of an extension on this one just to keep it out away from the body, because it does steam up a little bit when it's inside its cover. So I just push it back a little bit like that, and what that does is it just keeps it off the body, and it is great. Now this particular camera works very well, and there you go, you see it sits just nicely off the body like that, and I can adjust it to how I want it when I'm going. Always keep a rag with you because you want to keep your lenses clean. You know, quality is everything on YouTube, right? So you've got to, you know, I'm trying to step it up. I'm trying to get to that next level. So if I can keep the lenses as clean as possible and I get that good shot, because these actually get very clear shots, and they're not bad. So I've got 9 of them in all, so I use them around the boat. And I've got an underwater cam as well, which I use now. And innovation, there's my underwater cam. I put it onto a pole. It's an extender pole. I can extend that to whatever depth I need it to be, and that just hangs around on the side of the boat there, so I can get some underwater shots for you guys as well. So that's fantastic. Look at that. So you've seen me do this a million times. I'm just putting some fluorocarbon onto some brand new 6-pound line. I've got some like really big game 6-pound line that I put on. I bought some other stuff. You know, you got to be careful what you buy, man, because I went and I thought I'd find some budget options, and in the past I found some really good budget options where the line was quite cheap, but the ones that I got were absolutely terrible and brittle and just absolutely not strong enough. So I refilled a couple of rods, and I'm going to be using my Abu Garcias today, not because I have a shirt on that says Abu Garcia. I don't have any sponsorship or anything with them yet, but I'm going to be using them because I like them. They're good 7-footers. It's a little bit shorter than I usually use, but I'm going to be pitching and casting around trees and in and out. And as we get up that river, it gets very tight, and so a shorter rod sometimes helps me to get underneath those trees and things like that. So I decided to pull them out today. I will be using some top water today, most certainly a lot of soft plastics. I'm just setting myself up right now with something that, you know, just a paddle tail, little modified paddle tail, very small. I'm just going to go to the point here, start. The tides just started coming in, so I just want to go and start using the paddle tail on the side and just see if there's any bites there. There should be some bream around in those areas as the tide's coming in, most certainly a few flathead. I will go bigger on baits today because I'm going for flathead, I'm going for bass, I'm going for bream, I'm going for estuary perch, so I'm going to be changing up quite a bit today. What I get though is what I get, so I'm going to really work it hard. I'm going to go through a lot of baits today, so I'm just going to tie this on right now, and that's where we're going to start off. Just hit this point and move up the river. Let's go. Here we go, tight lines, and let's hope we get some bites today. First cast in, lots of jellyfish in the water over here. I got a 3-meter drop just on the side here, so I'm going to start off here as we move in, and that tide's going to come around this point and take us right up the river, and that's the direction we want to go over there. So we really want to work it, and hopefully there's going to be some bites. As I said, this is a nice bait just to start with and just to get the feel of the water, and hopefully there'll be some bites on this. This point should have something on it. Right, as that water's coming down towards us. Oh, I got a bite right there. How about that? So first cast of the day. Here's a little drop off in front of us over here, and that water's starting to come up towards us now as we go up the river here. So I'm just going to work it, just see if there's a fish or two on that drop off, which there should be, because the fish will stage up behind it and they'll hang out there and they wait for stuff to come with the tide. So hopefully we get a bite or two. There we go, straight away. So we're into our first fish, and as I said, just sitting on that ledge. Just a little flathead, but he's at least it's a start, you know. And you know, that was a good little drop off just there, and I knew there would be someone home. Now he's not a massive fish, but it's a good start. As I said, you know, we're going to start off with that little paddle tail, and that's a great bait to get started with, you know, every single time, just to find the bite, see what's happening. And as that food is coming down or coming with the current, as the tide's coming in, they stage just on these little drops, especially when you have a sandbank that's just steady sand, shallow water, and then it just drops off a little bit, and that's where they sit, because anything that comes over the top, they're going to come up and hit. There's our first fish of the day, third cast. Basically I got a bite on my first cast, so obviously found the spot really quickly. There's a little guy. Hey, hopefully he can get bigger, but that just shows you that little bait straight away, good catch. Let me get him off the hook, little shake off, and back in the water. Very cool. The only problem with flathead is they really like to rip your baits to pieces, so they can be a menace fish at times. But I'm going to try and reset that one and just sort of put it back in and see if there's another bigger baby sitting there. Hopefully we can get another catch. So that's not too bad, still sitting right. Let's get back in there. Yes please. Getting right back in there, because that was a little male, I think, and there'll be a few more around, but there could be a nice female there as well. So just got to work that and just put that bait straight back in. Obviously I retied straight away because it's, you know, it's just gonna, the flathead, they rip up your bait so much that you need to retie every time. But you know, they're on these sandbanks. She has a very flat section up in front of us here, and there's a drop off just over there. This is why this guy's put his crab traps up here. It's a very good spot, I actually know it as well. And it's because of that drop off in the slightly deep water. There's two little sort of deep areas just in front of us, two pools, and that's where the fish are sitting. And I was hoping to see if there was a bream or two, so let's hope that there's another bite. So there you can see it right there on my mapping. We're sitting in a nice little gully. I'm actually casting out that away, if you have a look at that there, and I'm casting sort of backwards into that gully. So it's a good spot, and you can see how it's just sitting there. There should be a big fish in here. Getting plenty of bites just on this drop off here. Again, I've got another nice bite. So it could be Taylor as well. Taylor are around here, but there you go, I'm getting bites as well there. But there are definitely predatorial fish at the lowest part of the tide. I mean, people think that, you know, you have to fish a high tide every time. Incoming tide is good, yes. Outgoing tide is good, yes. Full tide is actually quite difficult in this type of fishing. But that first, the flathead actually are very, very active as that first tide starts coming up. So that's really what we're focusing on right now. And being a point, just to start us off, you know, there's a chance that there's going to be a good fish that's been here overnight, just sitting here and waiting, and that's what I'm after. But I'm just seeing if we get lucky on a nice big one here. That would be nice, you know. Sort of fan casting around. You can see me how I'm just doing that fan. There you go. Oh, straight away, look at that, boom. Now that just dropped in the water and it was on straight away, and that's a much better fish. And this one's going to be, or this one's going to challenge a little bit, I think. Yes, 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 yes. This is a much better fish. Lots of head shakes. Going to try and tire this one out a little bit, because a lot of the time I miss these bigger fish. I lose them. You know, I've got 6 pound line. This is a very, very good one, and I'm going to take my time to try and get this in, because I want to show you guys this fish. Very good fish. And as I was saying, you know, there's that drop, and that's exactly where they're sitting. And I knew there would be a bigger one that's been sitting overnight, for example, in this area. It's a good area to be sitting, and I'm most certainly going to need my net for this one. She's going to have another run, and I've got a very small hook, so I'm going to try and tire her out a little bit more. Definitely a female, and definitely one I want to show you. No way that I can lift this without my net. Let me grab the net quick. There you go, just get the net out. Oh, she's definitely a big one. All right, now we've seen me lose fish like this in the past, so the sweeping motion is going to have to be a good one. She's a giant, so to get her in the net is the key. Bring her around and then swim her straight in there. Here we go. There she is. Nope, didn't go in first time. Just keep her going, there's no rush. All right, here we go. This is it. This is the one. Get in the net, baby. There we go. And ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning. As that tide is coming in, oh, there's the one we got just there, and I hope I got enough footage on camera. I may have made a mistake halfway through there, but you can see how she's really grabbed that one and could have sort of caught herself in the net as well. So wow, that has really, really gotten into her top lip, and she's holding onto it really well. There we go. So there she is. She's a beaut. And there you have it, guys. So there is a beautiful, beautiful female. You can see she's a really good flathead, you know, that nice big head, and then it's a much shorter body. If that's around, there should be some more around. And just remember, when that tide is low and as that first water comes in on those little drop-offs, that's where you'll find big fish like this. So she's lovely. Look at that, right after, what was it, 5th cast. I got that all on my chest cam. Hopefully we got some on here as well, but there it is. Wow, what a beautiful fish. Let's put her back in the water and she can live another day. Awesome. All right, let's get back to it. Wow, that was good. Well, that was great. So you've got to move with the flow of the tide. It's so important. And you know, once you've got your fish on that spot, yeah, there might be another spot there, but think about all the other fish that are lying ahead of you up the river. So if you want to get those, timing is important. They are going to react the same way those fish did a little bit further up as it fills up. So we're going to try and follow that as we go up, and we have to go now in order to be able to follow that trend as the water fills up. Okay, so I'm starting the attack now on the side, and as you can see, the bank is here, the mangroves are there. That's not full yet, but there's a drop off always just there, and that drop off is starting to fill up. So I'm staying off the bank and I'm sending the bait to the bank, and then I'm keeping it engaged with the bottom, very importantly, because if it's not engaged to the bottom, you're not going to get the bite. The flathead's sitting right on the bottom, covers itself on sand, tries to camouflage itself. It actually does a very good job of that. They're very good predators. But one thing that you will definitely want to do is always fish with the current. So the current's coming this way, and you can see I'm facing not backwards, but I'm sort of going with the current, and you want to cast and move the bait with the current. That is what gives it away. There you go. Nice little bite right there. But that's what you want to do. You want to move it with the current every time. As well, you want to be able to fish for flathead before that current gets up to full strength. You know, they do like it when it's just going right. You know, at the minute it is like that, and you know, you want to get it so it's just not going too fast. They're lazy feeders. They're good. They're very good predators, but they're lazy feeders, so they will they like it just the right speed. So you can see I'm just engaging that with the bottom all the time. I'm not lifting it too fast. Using a few little pitches now, just getting up to the edges. There you go. That's a nice way to do it. Pitching is a great way to get fish. There's a big fish that's just moved over there. You can see the sand has moved there, and that means that fish has moved off. So I may have spooked it a little bit, but it just means that there's fish around, and that's a good sign. I'm going to just put my nose now this way and just move a little quicker. I'm going to try and speed things up and just hit the good spots because I want to stay with this tide. There we go. Got another one just off the side there, and that's another take. Doesn't feel like a massive one, it feels like a little one, but it's at least a fish, and that's what we're after. There we go. Tactics are working. Most certainly this is just a little guy again, but most certainly gets us another fish, and shows us that things are active. I was fishing it so slow that the actual bait has gone down into the fish's mouth, which is typical, but let me just get that out and I'll show you. Well, there you go, guys. This one is, I managed to get that hook out, which is great. It's not looking that great, so I'm going to help it out in the water, but anyways, it's showing that the bite's there. Let's carry on going. There should be some bigger ones ahead. Hopefully that one's going to be okay. Let's get back at it. Right, baits, I had to change out on that bait, man. I tried to fix it, but unfortunately it didn't. It was just too far gone. So I've got another one lying at hand. I'm going to use that one for a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of spray as well, you know, just to mask the scent of other fish. Now, it's quite interesting because there's a theory about it, but I don't know if it's 100% true or not, but I do believe it. So there's stress that fish give out when they get caught, and they put that stress signs onto the lure, and sometimes that can really affect the bite. So if you use a little bit of something to mask that, it only helps, and also lubricates the bait nicely, so it moves really good. So try that out. There's our bait ready to go, and let's get back in the party here. This is good. Just moving backwards now, and this is one of my hotspot areas for big flatheads. So it is getting a little bit dirty though, the water. It's dirtying up very quickly. You can see how that current's starting to push now. It's really starting to push quite hard, and I'm going to stick with this just for a little while longer, and then I'm going to start moving up that river because I want to get to some spots. And you know, the other thing is, up the river I can only get in at certain times, so I've got a few spots along the way. I've got a bridge to fish that I want to do, so I really want to hit that at the right time, see if we can get some big fish off those. Keeping it tight. This is a spot. There it is right there. Look at that. As I said, and it's a beauty too. So you could see as I was talking about it, I put it right on there and I just flipped it in, and there was another one. It just shows you, you know, I did call it again. They're on that structure. They're loving that structure. This one's a little bit big for me to land on just by swinging it. I can't swing this one, so it's going to be not as big as the first one, but this would be a decent one to put into a pot and take home and have a feed on it. This is the perfect size. Let me see if I can get it quick. And there it is, guys. Beautiful little fish. This is the right size to take home if you ever come out fishing for flathead. This would be the one that you want to get. And again, you know, just caught the spot right on that spot. We just fished it before. I came in at a different angle and I put it into that little spot again. Tick, 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 tick. And there it was. So fantastic. Very unhappy with me, as they always are. Let me show you this fish quickly if I can get it under control. There it is. Nothing about a flathead is a wimp, I can tell you that. These guys fight like crazy. They are great predators, and they actually can change their look like a chameleon can. They can change their colors and so on. They actually change them, you know, right at any time that they want to. But there is a nice one. Now that one would be perfect to take and put into the pot. Two nice fillets at the back there like that. Makes very good fillets, and it swells beautifully in the pan as well. It's a very good eating fish, one of the best you can get. So there's a beauty. I'm going to let it go though, and I'm going to let it have another day, and we'll see it when it gets a lot bigger. Here we go. Guys, there was our morning sesh, and that was a good little sesh just to get us started today. And now I'm going to move up the river a little bit and go and have a look at some other areas. And I'm not saying we're not going to get more flooded, because they're up there as well, but I would like to sort of broaden our spectrum a little bit. I've got a few little places to go, so let's go and enjoy them and see if we can get some more fish. Okay, up ahead of us is this bridge that we've just crossed under with the current coming through. I've managed to rig up a few rods quickly. I like to rig rods on the go because I'm forever changing what I want to do and the perspectives I want to put out for whatever fish. This holds some good fish at times, and I've caught some very good ones here. And there's essentially three levels to it. There's the top level, which has some laydowns and some cross beams, and just underneath those cross beams and laydowns in between, a kind of a reef system exists. And I'm going to be targeting it first with a spinnerbait on the top, then I'm going to go down and do a crankbait in the middle section, and then I'm going to do the bottom section, and hopefully there's 4 pillars there. There's going to be a fish. Okay, as we approach this pylon right here, I've got the spinnerbait ready, and I'm using the spinning reel. This makes it quite easy to cast. Takes a while before you get your accuracy, but the idea is to try, see there's a lay down just here, and I want to try and just pass the bait past that lay down and see if there's any fish just sitting underneath that lay down, and at times there is. So let's see how we go. So here's that lay down right in front of us here, and I'm just going to use a pitch, make sure the bait is just right. I've got a little dropper hook on this one. You know how I love my spinner baits, and I'm just going to play it across there. That's what's nice about using a spinning reel, and I'm just going to play it slowly through there, see if I can imitate a little school of fish coming down there, and hopefully there'll be a predator to take them. I'm not just going to pass once, I'm going to do it a few times. Getting underneath bridges is a good cast too. Let it drop a little bit, and then I'm bringing it past nice and slowly, and that blade is spinning, just nicely trickling over. See if we can get a fish to bite. Now to get that comparison out, let's just take out the crankbait, and that's just going to go a little bit deeper, and we're going to see if we can get that. Now you want to try not to whack it up against the bridge, so you got to be a little bit careful, because you'll crack the crankbait and you won't be able to use it again. So you got to get that just nice, a few little runs across with a current behind it. You never know, it's not a easy way to fish, but sometimes there are rewards and results. Okay, stage 3 now. Paddle tails, that must make them so versatile, is that you can get them, you can play them shallow or deep, whatever you want to do. So let's just put it down there and see if we can find any action at all. And again, electric motor just holding me in position just behind where that current's coming towards us, and that's key. You know, I can stay in that strike zone all the time, and I'm going to play this paddle tail at the different depths that I see in front of me. So there was a more shallower one, just making sure it's right. This one I'll let it go a little bit deeper, maybe. Let it go down, let it drop. Right, Just work that there. And then I'll come around the other side right now and I'll hit that as well. Alright, I've worked this one quite a bit and no result yet. Well, it's 1 of 4. So I'm going to move on to that one there first. And then I'll move on to that one next. Those are a little bit shallower as well, so didn't seem to get much on that bridge. I might do it on the way out. In actual fact, I probably will, just to check to see if the dropping tide will be something that would spark these fish. But this looks very familiar to me as we come into the river, and I'm going to do some spinnerbait fishing now, see if we can get some bass. You know, you can't get them if you don't try, so let's get on it.